Great. So welcome everybody to our second night of our intention setting retreat in January. Moving off of what we did last week, where we were taking some time really to think about what are the things that are on my heart at maybe a real base level. And then tonight we'll be looking a little bit more specifically at asking the question, are those desires that we are experiencing, are they grounded in our ego or are they grounded in the truth? And that can be sometimes a little bit of a humiliating experience to kind of dive into and say, oh, is this really a deep desire or is it more at the surface? And one of the ways that we will do that is through listening to our breath, listening to our bodies as we engage in our movement, and then as we sit in some meditation as well, listening to how is it all sitting and stirring within us. One thing that we want to keep in mind is that a true sankalpa, in contrast to a New Year's resolution, operates from the belief that we already have what we need. It's about uncovering it and discovering it rather than needing to acquire or seek it outside of ourselves. So to discover the truth that is within certainly might move us to some changes and some actions, but the truth of who we are is already there. And so it's really a mindset of getting rid of a mindset of scarcity and welcoming a mindset of enoughness. So 3 different parts of sankalpa setting that will break our practice into 3 parts tonight. The first is really about a willingness to hear this message of a heartfelt desire, and thinking of a heartfelt desire as something that we say in the present tense that recognizes something that we desire to come forward, but that we already have. So it could be something like, I am strong, balanced, and capable, or I am peaceful, I am compassionate towards myself and others, whatever that might be that is speaking to you, but to try to put that into the present tense and to claim it as something that already is a part of you. Then the second piece that we'll work on is this act of turning to and welcoming that message. So sitting with it, contemplating it, letting it marinate. And we'll do that paired with some standing poses that give us a chance to really ground down in the message and then be open to listening to what more there might be. And then the third part is this willingness to do what that heartfelt desire requires of you. And so this obviously isn't done in a moment. It is a journey and a practice that we will engage in, but that will be our closing meditation. And from there, then the opportunity to get to work through that for the next week or year or lifetime. Okay. So as we work to listen deeply to ourselves, tonight we'll start with some breath work on our backs with our knees bent and feet on the mat. And if you have any blocks, you can have them near you. We won't use them quite yet, but we'll use them soon. So feet about shoulder distance apart. And make sure that you feel comfortable here. We'll place our hands on our heart before we move into the technicalities of a solar breath. Let's just take a moment to notice what's going on in your body. As you lay here, where's your breath coming from most prominently? Is it from your nose or your lungs or your belly? Where do you feel the breath moving? And how would you describe it? No need to get lost for words, but really, how would you feel the sensation of your breath? And now turning your focus towards your hands on your heart. And imagine light exuding from your heart. As you inhale and fill your whole torso cavity with breath, feel that light expand. And as you exhale, instead of feeling it contract, feel it expand beyond your torso. So a double layer of expansion. Then your next breath in, breath expands through your torso, and exhale, it expands beyond. Another breath in, and exhale, let the breath expand. Take 3 more rounds of this on your own. Letting the light coming from your heart, the solar energy, warm you. To your last one. Go ahead and set your hands down by your side and let your knees knock in together to a contemplative resting pose. Feel the effects of the light coming through your body. And as you rest in that light, begin to question and to wonder, to listen. What is on your heart? Sometimes the thing that we desire more of, we don't recognize that we already have it. So is it tonight about turning your attention, seeing from a new angle, or about grounding in and trusting what's already there? Let the desires of your heart be a part of your pondering as we work through these beginning movements, and then we'll have some time to journal about that in a bit. Let's rest our hands down by our sides and go into dynamic bridge pose. So on your next inhale, lift your hips, lift your arms up over your head. Take your time here. And exhale, roll your spine back down. Do some work to open our heart again, lift your hips. And to also open our side bodies, giving our mind a chance to be nudged, maybe towards some places that have been asleep. Take one more. Breathe in. Exhale. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Your arms can rest as a cactus or out to a T if that feels good on your shoulders. Engage our core here and drop your knees over to the left, but don't let them go to the ground. Then use your breath, use your core to come back to center. Exhale, knees towards the right. And inhale back up. Take 2 more rounds on each side. Twisting, feeling a little bit of opening. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. One more time each side. Feel strong as you let your knees hover.
Exercise ring closed.
This time, when we come up to center, we'll let our knees fall to the left, let them come all the way down to the ground, and hold in a supine twist. You can take your left hand to your right knee if that's helpful. Feel free to place a block between both knees. Gentle movement and then surrender. Letting your spine rotate, opening just a little bit more. One more breath in here. And exhale, release. Come back to center. And then let your legs fall to the other side. Using your breath as you inhale to extend and exhale to twist. Take 2 more breaths here. And exhale, release back to center. Bring both knees into your chest. Let your low back rest on the mat. One more breath in. And then exhale, release your feet down to the mat. Extend your legs long into supine tadasana. So mountain pose here. Hands down at your side, palms up. Flex your feet. Imagine them pressing against the wall across from you. Engage your thighs. Lift your kneecaps. Let your shoulders spread wide. And take up space. In supine mountain, we have an experience of being held by the ground below us and supported, and at the same time being very exposed. Heart open, hands open. So take a few breaths here. See if you can listen to your heart, to the deep desires. Your next breath in, inhale your arms up above your head so that they come to the ground above you. And let's grab our right wrist with our left hand. Move your torso over to the right. And then move your torso over to the left, and move your feet over to the left as well. So you're creating a lateral stretch like a banana pose here. Option to cross your right ankle over your left. Think of grounding your right hip into the mat as you use your left hand to pull your right arm over to the left. And here we have a chance to open up our side bodies,
often referred to as the windows of the heart. Return to your breath. Notice if it's labored. Feel free to adjust your posture so that your breath can be smooth. So the opening of the windows of your heart can happen. Take 2 more deep breaths here. On your next exhale, come back to center. Extend long here, reset your spine and your hips. And then we'll take it to the other side. So right hand grabs your left wrist, torso moves to the right, legs move over to the right. An option to cross your left ankle over your right. Bringing balance to your body, balance to each side of your heart. More rounds of breath. Exhale, release. Come back to center again. Extend your fingers above your head. One nice long extension. And then release. Bring your hands to your knees in towards your chest. If it's comfortable, you can rock side to side. Gentle massage to your low back, or find stillness. We'll work our way up to seated. So coming up however you like, if you want to rock and roll or delicately move yourself however you like. And here's an opportunity to grab your journal. I would invite you to write down whatever you're feeling. Can you make a statement of something it is that you desire, that you know that you already have, but want to uncover a bit more deeply? It could look a million different ways, but some possibilities could be: I'm strong, I am balanced, I am capable. Might be helpful to think about a place in your life that you continue to notice where things aren't going the way that you desire. And what is it that you have within you that's, first of all, allowing you to notice that and giving you an opportunity to counter? When you are ready, take as much time as you need. Go ahead and move into child's pose. Might feel nice to use blocks to sit on in between your legs, or to maybe bring a block in front of you to let your head rest on. Or both.
You settle into child's pose here and really think about placing your third eye on the mat. If it doesn't reach, you can take fists and make it happen like this. Bring your statement, your heartfelt desire to your mind. Feel free to look back at your journal for how you wrote it if you need to. And let it become a mantra with your breath. Breathe in your statement of truth. And let go of any doubt. We'll keep calling it to mind throughout this next portion of our practice. On your next inhale, come up through tabletop. Extend your hands a bit further away from your torso. Drop your hips towards the mat. You can bend your knees or keep them straight. Chin can be parallel to the ground or look up. Flowering lotus. And then exhale, come back into child's pose. Do this 3 times. Inhale, come up. Open up your heart. Exhale, roll back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, breathe in. And come back into child's pose. We'll be here for 2 rounds of breath. Inhale up to tabletop position. Extend your right leg back, toes towards the mat. Feel strength in your right foot. And then exhale, bring it through between your hands. And bring blocks to each side of your feet. Come into a low lunge. Make sure that your stance is wide enough that your hips can sink down. And then we'll inhale our arms up. And as we exhale back, cactus your arms and open your heart. And inhale up. Cactus arms, open heart. One more time. Inhale up. Cactus arms. Breathe here. Feel strength in your arms, openness in your chest. Inhale, both arms up above your head. Left arm forward, right arm back for a twist. So push yourself back just a bit, create some more space for your belly. Let your navel open up to the right. One more breath in here. Exhale, lean forward with your torso and set your left hand down next to your right foot, either on a block or on the mat. And then inhale your right arm straight up for a gentle twist here. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath in. Exhale. Come back to our lunge. And then you can bring the blocks with you if you like. And walk back into half splits. So hips over your left knee. Flex your right toes. Hands can be way out in front of you or right next to you. Also an option to put a block under your right knee just for a little bit more support. Bring some openness into your hamstring. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Come back through our lunge and back into tabletop. Pause here to just check in with your hips. And then we'll move to the other side. Extend your left leg out nice and strong. Push down through your hands. Lift your chest. And exhale, bring your left leg through between your hands. Find your low lunge. Square your hips. And circles with our arms into cactus. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale. Hold here. Push down through your back foot. Inhale, arms up. Right arm forward, left arm back, twist. Breathe in, grow tall. Exhale, reach forward. Plant your right hand on a block or the mat. And inhale your left arm up. Feel strength in your right hand as it pushes into the block or into the earth. And feel hope in your left as it reaches high. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Come into low lunge. And then push back into half splits on this side. Left toes flex. Keep your low back nice and flat. Breaths here. And then exhale, release. Come back into tabletop. Pause here. And then we'll come into downward dog. So turn your toes. Inhale up when you're ready. Into downward facing dog. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to here to reach your hips up high. Let your head be between your elbows. Let's inhale our right leg up. Exhale, bring it through for a lunge. We won't stay here for long. Bring your left foot down to the mat for warrior two position. So it's parallel to the short side of your mat. And then inhale up into warrior two. So inhale, straighten your front leg, hands come up above your head. And as we bend into warrior two, you've got options to either come in with strong arms or with regular warrior two arms. But in your mind or out loud, if you're in a place where you can, speak your desire. So inhale, reach, exhale, bend into it. Say the truth of the moment. Inhale up. Exhale, maybe try some different arms with each time. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale up. And exhale, bend. This time, hold. Let your feet feel grounded. Like you're taking up lots of space. Heart lifted. Deep breath in. Exhale, release to side angle. Right elbow comes to right thigh or right knee. Left arm lifts up. Add some movement with our arm here. So inhale and reach. Exhale, take your left arm down by your waist.
Inhale up, so legs stay the same. Pay attention to the quality of your breath. Exhale, arm down. Always feel free to bend your arm a bit if holding it straight aggravates your shoulder. Next time that your arm's up and over, let's hold. Inhale back up to warrior two, arms both parallel to the ground. And exhale, reverse your warrior. Drop your left hand towards your hamstring. Lift your right arm up. Bend deeply into your front knee. Inhale back up to center. Now turn so that your both feet are parallel to each other, facing the long side of your mat. Wide legs. Inhale up to star pose. Push your hips forward, fingers wide. And exhale, release, forward fold here. Option to bring a block with you and put your forehead on the block. Letting your intention resonate in your mind. As you hear the words, let them seep in. Let yourself believe the truth of them. Inhale up to a halfway lift, hands on your blocker on the mat, nice flat back. And exhale, fold. Adding a twist here. Bring your left hand underneath your nose. Feel free to bend your left knee if needed, and inhale your right arm up. Gentle twist. Hips reach back. Forehead and the top of your head reaches forward. Exhale, release, and switch hands. Right hand under your nose, maybe bend into the right knee. Create some space. Exhale, release. One more breath here in forward fold. And then bring your hands to your hip, push down through your big toes, flat back, come up to stand. Let the weight of that forward fold settle for a moment. And then we'll move to warrior two on the other side from here. So now your left leg, left toes point forward. Your right foot should be where it needs to be. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, bend into warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten your front leg, hands come up overhead. State your intention as you make your way into warrior two with long arms or strong arms. Inhale up. Exhale, bend into it, claim your truth. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Exhale, bend and hold. Take up space on your mat. Use this side of your body the same way as the other. One more breath here. Release to side angle. Left elbow to left thigh. Right arm up and over. Inhale and reach your fingers up over your head. Exhale, right hand comes down by your right hip.
Inhale. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale back. Just a half. Inhale up and hold. Push down through your right foot. And exhale, release back to warrior two. Long arms. Gaze over your front finger. Release to reverse warrior. Left arm lifts up. Keep the bend in the knee. Inhale. And exhale, release. Back to warrior two. Come into forward. Wide legs once more. Pause here. Arms just rest down by your side. And bring your heels in, toes out, so that when you bend, your knees can go the right direction. Inhale our arms up to star. And exhale, as we come into goddess, bring your pinky fingers together and your thumbs together so that you make a little cup, a lotus flower. Holding that intention, holding that truth. Inhale, bring it on up. Send it out to the world. Exhale, cultivate. Breathe in. One more. And let's hold here in horse with our fingers in lotus. Create some heat in your legs, the same way that we created heat with our solar breath. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Come up to star pose. Straighten your legs. Beautiful. We'll toe heel our feet in. You can bring your arms down to the side. Enough, we'll do malasana and work our way down towards the earth. And you might want to have a block ready. So bring our hands to heart center here. Take a deep breath in. And as we move into our squat, feel the grounding energy bringing you down. The good kind of bringing you down. And come down as far as you're comfortable. If this is where you want to stay, that's great. If you want to bring your feet in a little closer, bring your seat all the way towards the mat, you can do that. You can add a block, sit on that. See if you can let your shoulders relax a bit. Two more breaths here. And exhale, release. Remove the block. Come with your feet all the way to the earth. And let's take butterfly here. So bring the soles of your feet together. Might be helpful to sit on a block here if you need a little bit more room for your hips. Before we fold here, just feel the space. As you sit nice and tall, space for your lungs, space for your breath. Inhale, grow taller. And exhale, come forward about 25%. Nice flat back. And inhale, back up. This time on your exhale, come forward about 50%. You might change where your hands are to help leverage it over. Inhale, back up. This time, 75%. Okay. And this time, 100%. Feel free to use the blocks. I sometimes like to stack one on my feet to help me get my head closer. Use your elbows to push your knees down towards the earth a bit more. Go from standing postures to some surrendering. Standing is an opportunity to sort of try on what's on our heart. See how it feels, see how we move within that intention. And now we turn to a serener practice to again let it marinate, to test it out, to listen. So option to stay here in forward fold or to come up and return to your journal. How did that go? How was trying that on? Would you change the wording of your intention? Was there a particular posture that felt more empowering than another? Did you discover a place of resistance? When you are ready, we'll take our legs from the same posture and move ourselves down onto our backs into Supta Baddha Konasana. Option to put the blocks underneath your knees for a little bit of extra support. Before you settle into the rest of this pose, take a moment and squeeze your heels together and then release and let yourself settle in. Hands can rest down by your side or on your belly. Take 6 more breaths here. On your next exhale, bring your knees together. We'll take a supine twist again. So we've already been here once this evening. Pay attention to what's similar or what's different. If you encountered any sort of resistance in our standing postures,
Maybe a place to process that a little bit. Lift your hips up and send them over to the right just a bit. Arms come to cactus, and then let your knees fall to the left. If it's more comfortable to extend your bottom leg, certainly take any version of twist that you like. Few more breaths here. Feel free to use your hands if you'd like to bring your knees back up to center. Pause here, feel the weight of your low back on the earth. Then pick up your hips, move them over to the left, cactus your arms, and allow your legs to fall to the right. Few more breaths on this side. And exhale, release. Come back to center. Take your feet a little wider, about hip distance apart. Extend your fingers out so that your heels are about where your fingers are. And if you have a block, you might want it close by. We'll take 2 rounds of bridge pose. The second time we'll hold it longer, and so you might want the block for that. For our first round, go ahead and bend your elbows so fingers are pointing straight towards the ceiling. And then push down through your feet as you inhale, lift your hips towards the sky. Feel what happens here in your throat with a sense of closing it off. An invitation to quiet our speech and open our ears. Take 2 more breaths here. And exhale, release down slowly. Allow your knees to knock into each other. Take a couple of breaths to rest and refocus. As we go into our second time in bridge pose, option to use the block. I like to use it at this setting here, at setting 2. Placing it right at your sacrum and allowing yourself to settle in over the block so that your heart can really open and allow us to listen with our hearts. So set yourself up, inhale, hips come high. Slide a block in if you're using it. Allow your arms to rest by your sides. You begin to become comfortable with with your heartfelt desire, trying it on in various ways, moving it through our body. And next begin to ask the question of then what does it look like in my actions? What does it look like off the mat? If the truth is that I am peaceful, how and where will I see that in my life? How will others get to experience it? How do I bear witness to it? Transition from supported bridge into legs up the wall. So you can take your block, you could leave it here at this setting if that feels comfortable, or set it to a lower setting. Bring your knees in towards your chest and extend them towards the ceiling. So we have a modified legs up the wall, or we could also call this modified shoulder stand. Letting the blood drain from our feet down towards our heart, bringing in a freshness, a newness, maybe an ability to see that we didn't have earlier. What does it look like for the desire of your heart to be manifest in your life? Option to stay here for as long as you want. You could take your Shavasana like this, or if you'd prefer to move into a more traditional Shavasana, bring your knees in towards your chest. You have your block underneath you. Carefully lower your feet down. Remove your block. Let your hips come back down onto the earth. Take your time as you transition into your final resting pose. As you come to the space and the form, the shape that you want to rest in, embody your desire. That might be strength or balance or peacefulness or compassion. Whatever it is that is true, embody it now, and then rest and surrender into that truth. Bring your awareness back to your space on your mat. Bring some gentle movement back into your fingers and toes. Continuing to embody your truth. When you're ready, move to one side. Make a pillow with your arm. Bring your knees in close. And envision how you want to be, what it looks like to live the desire of your heart, how you'll greet the next person that you see, how you'll engage the next task at hand. When you're ready, come on up to seated. Bring our hands to our heart where we started with our breath. And take one closing breath together, feeling the warmth and feeling our breath as it fills our whole torso cavity and beyond. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go, let it expand. Let's bring our hands to prayer. Thumbs come to our third eye. May we know and trust the truth of who we are. Fingers to our lips. May we speak words that come from that truth. And may it be felt as our hands come to our heart, not just by us, but by the world around us. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. Wish you a wonderful week. I have one more week of intention setting next Wednesday. Thanks so much. Peace, everyone.